So much has changed in New York City real estate. Remember the days when there were just a handful of desirable neighborhoods? These days, every zip code is desirable, making it very difficult to find a deal. I'm Rosanna Scotto, and welcome to this edition of Living It Up. Taylor Swift, Bon Jovi, and J-Lo.
These are music's biggest stars. Wait until you see inside their homes.
I want to see where Taylor slept. Oh, this is amazing. Then, the financial district's radical transformation.
The area has been rebuilt many times.
From the original theater district to the first elevator building in the city, and now luxury homes in the sky.
To give you that feel to always remember the old building and the new building.
And you won't see this anywhere else. Real estate brokers tell all.
Jackson's ran out too. The doors were wide open. There was screaming and clanging all over the place.
But first, if the shoe fits, wear it. We're on the Upper East Side and we're going inside shoe mogul Steve Madden's townhouse.
This is my home.
Steve Madden, this is great, and I love the way you have shoes every which way in your house.
Yeah, it's a cobbler's home. That's it.
But it's part of like the artwork of your house.
Well, you know, it's a homey place. I love shoes. This is what I do.
Your home feels like a home. You know, like the kids can come in and play and not have to worry about anything.
And they do. We barbecue even sometimes.
I see that out here. You got a nice little porch out here.
Nice little porch. We barbecue.
Sit outside al fresco.
Al fresco.
Al fresco.
Good name for a restaurant.
All right, let's go see the rest of the house.
Okay.
So we're not going to go see Steve's bedroom.
That's actually a good idea.
That is off limits.
Off limits.
Off limits. Trust me, it's like a cave. It's a man cave.
It is
We're
a
not
man
going to show you that.
Yeah, it's a man cave. So this is the living room. You know, we have bicycles. It's a little bit not traditional, but it's a nice room. Lots of books.
And shoes.
And shoes
everywhere.
Always
Everywhere.
Always
These
shoes.
are cool. Do you place out current shoes or these older models of shoes?
It could be something that I'm interested in. And then I'll just put it out there to look at it, leave it around, and kind of walk by it. And
to
look
get
at
inspired. You started actually buying little apartments
Pieces,
and then you bought the whole darn thing.
Yeah, we bought the whole thing. And it's an old building. I think it's about 150 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a great building. Great bones, as they say.
So you're still like questioning whether you're going to put this on the market?
I'm not quite sure. It's a beautiful house, a family house. You know, I also have a kids' room, which is this fun little playroom.
It's whimsical.
Yeah.
This feels good. It has a nice vibe
it's
to
great.
it. It's beautiful. It comes with history.
It comes with history. It's a great old house.
Will you leave any of the shoes behind?
Oh, God, my shoes.
So while Steve's on the phone, I'm going to just try on a pair of shoes for him. Let's see. Oh, hi, Steve.
That's a great one there.
Do you like this one?
I hope you don't break it.
I know. I can't. What size do you keep
I think
around
the samples
here?
are like 6.
6, yeah. I'm 2 sizes more.
Well, this is beautiful.
That's a nice one.
Good taste.
I know. I like that one. Darn
Yes.
it. Is there anything for sale around here?
Nothing for sale.
I have to buy the house to get these shoes? That's it.
Comes with the house.
Now put your best foot forward for another exclusive tour. This time, entertainer Michael Feinstein shows me his home. Thank you for inviting us in your home.
You're welcome.
How long have you been here?
I think it's about 12 years.
How big is the townhouse?
This house is about 6,000 square feet. There are 6 bedrooms. There's more than that number of bathrooms. It's a big hunk of house.
Is this the refrigerator?
Yes, please, avail yourself.
May I look?
Yes.
Oh, there's plenty of vodka, which is good.
Yes, well, first things first. Yeah.
I like it. It works. It works for me. This is the formal dining room, right?
Yes. This is a fun room because it looks out at the garden. So
it's so pretty and peaceful.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like New York.
Do you have a favorite room in the house?
My favorite room is the bedroom.
So you see a picture of Elizabeth Taylor over there.
Ah, yes. And she was very special. I was lucky to be friends with her. Liza Minnelli introduced me, and she was one of the people who helped put me on the map just by acknowledging me and coming to the big party that Liza threw that got publicity because, among other things, she was there. Everything has a story, you know, there's a purpose for every picture.
Carol Channing and a young Michael
Yes,
Feinstein.
that's Carol, yes. This is the Algonquin, 1986. And when that picture was taken, there was a candle right there and her fur caught on fire. So every time I look at that, I see smoke.
Did you have to like...
I said, your fur's on fire. She said, what? I said, your fur's on fire. She said, oh, it's old, I don't care.
I feel like, Michael, there's a lot of special rooms where you can hide. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the fun thing about the house is that there's grand spaces, but then there also are intimate spaces.
Right, so if you want to disappear, there's plenty of places to disappear in.
Yeah, you can get lost here and no one could find you for a while. The thing that I wanted was to be in a place where I could play the piano at 3 o'clock in the morning or not have to worry about noise or neighbors. So it's very private and it's very quiet. And for me, that's essential.
Like, it just feels like there's great music here when you walk in. I see the piano front and center. Would you mind?
For you, with pleasure.
Thank you.
Be it ever so humble, there's no place like home.
Ah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Coming up, from uptown to downtown,
It's the first restaurant in the city to allow women unaccompanied.
the financial district, then and now, and this is no bull. And later, Taylor Swift, Bon Jovi, J-Lo.
This is the most intimate look at who these celebrities are. They are happy being on the cover of magazines and walking around New York. Now we're going to take you inside their apartment.
When Living It Up returns. The financial district, where high blood pressure meets high rises, an area so steeped in history, it's no longer business as usual. Rob Andrews, GM of the Beekman. Nice to meet you.
Hi, welcome.
Wow,
How are
this is incredible. Will you show me
you.
around the hotel?
Absolutely. Let's go this way.
The Beekman is truly a blast from the past.
The site itself is actually steeped in history. The hotel was originally constructed between 1881 and 83, same year as the Brooklyn Bridge, and the architect was a gentleman named James Farnsworth. The exterior of the building is tan Dorchester stone. New York City made it a landmark in 1998, so our facade is landmarked.
This was the original theater district, right?
In 1776, the first ever production of Shakespeare's Hamlet in New York City on this site in a tiny little theater called the Chapel Street Theater. Edgar Allan Poe had an office here, wrote the Broadway Journal in 1845.
Now I hear this building had the first elevator in the city. Is that true?
Correct. First fully fireproof building. First building to have an elevator that covered all stories, so 3 elevators. And still to this day, you can see some of the really unique features.
Are there any other little secret places here at the Beekman?
If you were an office tenant here in the 30s, 40s and 50s and so on, you would come out of your elevator and it was like the atrium wasn't there. So you would see a wall and a ceiling, and the entire atrium was encased. It was kept in a good state. It still needed a lot of restoration, but protected for 65 years certainly helped. And it was closed off because they couldn't bring it up to New York City Fire Code.
Adjacent to the Beekman Hotel, a new 50-story luxury condominium, 5 Beekman Street. The developer, Alan Gross, shows me around. Alan, you've really brought back the best of the old and combined it with the new together.
Our first floor of condos starts where most buildings end up with a penthouse, because we're 180 feet up in the air.
And now it's almost sold out, right? Just a few more units left?
It's almost sold out.
But the views, Alan, the views are what sold me. First of all, you don't need anybody to tell you the traffic. You look for yourself and you can tell how the Manhattan, Brooklyn Bridge are working. Well, you can kind of lose yourself in this gorgeous view, old, new, skyscrapers. It's a very special place. There's so much history in the financial district. I need help. Nick Jurovich of the New York Historical Society, tell me about this area.
So this is where New York City begins. Even before there were Europeans here, the Lenape community were gathering to trade and exchange on Manhattan Island here at the southern tip. And the streets you see were laid out by Dutch and then English settlers. They're crooked, they're narrow, but the area has been rebuilt many times. You've had a series of great fires, one in 1776, another in 1835, that essentially create a new canvas for the city to build on. By the 1890s, you see a new boom, in part because the dawn of the steamship age is bringing a whole lot of new wealth and new energy to lower Manhattan.
Tell us about the Delmonico's building, because it's a very famous restaurant.
It is. So the Delmonico's actually start around the corner on William Street here in the 1820s at the little cafe and pastry shop. They open a purpose-built fine dining restaurant 180 years ago on this corner after the Great Fire. So they buy the lot, they build this unbelievably lavish new European-style restaurant, and they put the same columns you see on the front today out in front, claiming they got them from the ruins of Pompeii. That's hard to prove. However, this restaurant does so well it becomes the flagship of an empire of restaurants that stretch north at one point to 42nd Street. Come 1890, as Wall Street, as the financial district booms, they rebuild. But they get an architect named James Brown Lord to build a beautiful 8-story Renaissance Revival building that houses a new, even grander restaurant, as well as offices for merchant insurance and steamship companies. They also had a kitchen up on the 8th floor because they catered events. So they were catering for City Hall, for banquet halls all around the city.
And it was also the first place, I think, that allowed women, right?
So they have the first woman cashier at their original cafe. It's the first restaurant in the city to allow women unaccompanied, though they have to be pushed to do that after 6 p.m.
Who were some of the famous people who ate here?
Charles Dickens ate here. Mark Twain celebrated his 70th birthday here. We have in our records at New York Historical speeches given by secretaries of the Treasury, the heads of the Friendly Sons of St. Patrick, other professional and alumni associations. This was where you gathered if you were an elite New Yorker.
And now they're rentals.
They are. You can live here.
Next, Taylor Swift certainly knows how to live large. This place that she rented really lives up to her reputation. Taylor's private swimming pool and J-Lo's sexy mommy pad. Want to see how they're living it up? Then,
and all of a sudden I start to hear the unquestionable sound of a couple in the apartment right above the terrace having a little afternoon matinee.
real estate brokers' secrets revealed. Welcome back. New York is home to some of the biggest names in the music business. In fact, Taylor Swift once called the West Village home. So tell me about Taylor Swift. Did Taylor Swift just come knocking on your door saying, I want to rent this place?
Yeah, that's one of those crazy New York stories. Yes, she did. She approached my broker. She came. She fell in love with the place the moment that she walked in. I believe the words that she used were, ooh, it's so crusty. And I thought, oh my goodness, she doesn't like the place. But in Ms. Swift's speak, that means she really, really liked the place. So much so, in fact, that she asked to rent it contents included. Not just furniture, but towels and dishes and glassware. And she really wanted to just sort of step into this life, if you will. And so really, I just took my clothes and left.
So this is the kitchen dining room.
Yeah, this is actually one of my favorite rooms in the house. Interestingly enough, when I had designed it, I anticipated that there would be big sort of velvety curtains here. But then when I looked at it, it's almost like a quintessential New York painting of, you know, classic sort of village buildings, if you will. So I decided to leave it the way it is.
So this is the master bedroom and a very special lock here.
Absolutely. I mean, this is where Taylor called home for about a year, so she needed a little extra security for when she was sleeping.
So she put that in here?
Correct.
Okay, let's go in. I want to see where Taylor slept.
Huh. Well, the master bedroom is designed to be very private.
Beautiful.
As you'll notice, it's set back from the street, so there's no street noise. It's also designed to feel very, very bright, so you've got light channeling down from the skylights as well as light and air coming from both sides.
This is so unique. I can't believe that you have a pool in your house.
Thank you.
So, do we know if Taylor had like pool parties?
One can only guess.
And how warm is the water?
Actually, a funny story. I got a rather unusual electric bill one month. The pool was 95. So she likes the water warm.
Looking to rent just like Taylor? It will set you back $42,000 a month. But buying is an option too for a cool $20 million. NaughtyGossip.com's Rob Shooter with the scoop.
One of the reasons that Taylor so loved this place is she's a downtown type of girl. Her friends are downtown. She likes the little coffee shops down there. She likes the restaurants. This is really Taylor's neighborhood. My sources tell me that whenever you rent someone to Taylor Swift, her children are her cats. She adores them, and if the cats don't like it, then neither does Taylor. Just a few blocks away, superstar Jon Bon Jovi has put his ginormous West Village duplex on the market. Asking price, $15.9 million. This is an apartment that John has lived at with his family and his wife Dorothea for a very, very long time. It is not a model apartment. This is very much a home. One of the most exciting things about this apartment is you also get probably the best views of the river in New York City. Jenny from the block moving off the block, putting her Madison Square Park penthouse on the market for $27 million. Jennifer Lopez has one of the most beautiful apartments here in New York City. It only has 4 residences within the building, so it makes it totally private and totally special. One of the most special things about Jennifer's apartment is she's in the penthouse and it's set back. So she has this beautiful terrace that looks over Madison Square Park. She has a state-of-the-art kitchen. It has a massive, massive island in the middle. But what is most impressive is she has an entire wall of freezers and fridges that are top of the line. These are so glorious. You can look in and see the food. So if you get a bottle of wine, make sure it's a good one because we can read the label. This apartment is everything you would expect from Jennifer Lopez. It's loud and gorgeous and flashy, and it's just fabulous. Straight ahead, they're the stories you don't usually hear.
The seller went into cardiac arrest the morning of the closing.
Real Estate Confidential is next. We're back with Real Estate Confidential. Real estate brokers who've seen it all, now they're telling it all.
I'm Mickey Conlon.
And I'm Tom Postilio, and we're with Douglas Elliman.
A few years ago, we were listing Dave Sanborn's townhouse on the Upper West Side for sale, and Michael Jackson's family came to see the house. Their broker made it very clear early on that they are not fans of cats, the animal, not the musical. They got a little bit ahead of me on the tour, and I assured them that the cats were safely tucked away in a first-floor room, but they got there before I did. The cats ran out, the Jacksons ran out too. The doors were wide open. They were screaming and clanging all over the place. And the Jacksons were gone, and the cats went missing. Fortunately, the cats were found about an hour later underneath the couch, but the Jacksons were never to return.
My name is Tom Postilio with Douglas Elliman. Another apartment that we were showing was a penthouse listing of ours, 3 bedrooms, beautiful outdoor terrace space. And all of a sudden I start to hear the unquestionable sound of a couple in the apartment right above the terrace having a little afternoon matinee. I thought maybe nobody else is hearing this. It started to crescendo. I started to panic. And what I did was I called upon my previous career as a professional singer, and I began to croon Dean Martin's That's Amore. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore.
I'm Kelly Robinson with Compass Real Estate, and there are some crazy people out there. I have a $30+ million penthouse, and occasionally you get calls from people who are pretending to be buyers. I got a call from somebody who was making some off-color jokes, and I just had a gut feeling about him. He then stopped into our lobby of our new development and asked the concierge if he needed to check his knife, which he then pulled out and presented to the concierge before he went up to see the apartment. I pulled up his mugshots and some information on him, which included him being arrested for wielding a sword naked, theft of a firearm, theft of a knife, and also writing bad checks. I printed out his mugshots, handed it to the building, and needless to say, he was never allowed back.
I'm Scott Harris from Brown Harris Stevens. One of the craziest things that happened to me, we had a closing. The seller went into cardiac arrest the morning of the closing. Now, he was okay, but he had to be rushed to the hospital and all the paperwork wasn't signed. So when he finally came to, they had people rushing to mid-New Jersey to get everything signed, and everything finally closed.
No doubt about it, real estate in Manhattan can give you a heart attack, but misery loves company. Until the next time we're living it up, I'm Rosanna Scotto.